Hey, this is Nicholas. I wanted to share with you about a book I published. I published a book called The Pearl Dreaming Us. The Pearl is the name of the intentional community eco-village that I'm going to be moving to beginning of September in Mississippi. And I also dream journal. So I've been dream journaling since 2020 off and on, and then more steadily since the beginning of 2024. And then, for periods of time for like a year or more before that. Anyhow, I went in because of AI. I asked it to analyze my dreams each night. You can see in one of the other posts, I probably talk more about dream journaling and dreams. But with the AI, I said, hey, can you go into all my dreams and start, helping me write a book about this? And it did. It helped me find the dreams, give me some language around them, also add meaningful questions for the reader. And I basically have these, it even gave me cool titles instead of part 1, part 2, part 3. I call them, it helped me call them dream cycles. So dream cycle 1, 2, 3. And in each dream cycle is movement 1, 2, and 3. And in each movement is dreaming 1, 2, and 3. It's kind of cool, like that movie The Sandman, or that series The Sandman on Netflix. The place that he lives is called The Dreaming. So I always think of that when I see Dreaming 1 or Dreaming 2. But there's 27 dreamings cataloged, like I said, in 3 different movements per cycle. So it gives you 27 dreams. And so this was my first time trying to publish something like this. So I wanted to tell you about the process in case you're looking to do something with AI and make your own book. The process was pretty easy. For me, I had the dreams, so it would just, I'd say, go ahead, and it made a story arc. I had this arc of dreams of innocence, experience, and ascension. So this book is volume 1 of The Pearl Dreaming Us. And it is leading up to me moving to the Pearl. And then volume 2, I can't publish it right now because I need to experience it and have the dreams. So the dreams of innocence, first volume is more like in maybe the beginning of the hero's journey. Or if you were looking at the tarot, however you pronounce it, it would be the Fool card. You're going, taking a leap of faith and going on a quest. And so, let's see. So volume 2 will be me experiencing the Pearl and harvesting those dreams over. I'm thinking maybe a year would be good. Maybe it's just 6 months because I get antsy and I want to finish things off. But we'll see. 6 months or a year worth of dreams, and depending on how the Pearl works out, we'll see. And then the last one will be like the dreams of ascension. And for me, I'm interested in the galactic. So you've seen that maybe in some of my other posts, the galactic community. So I think that'll be like 2027 and all that. And I think there'll be some things hitting the fan as far as connections with other beings, at least on the timeline and the reality that I'm walking on. So that might not be for everybody. So anyhow, how do you publish a book like that? I went on AI, and I only have my iPhone. I don't even have like a desktop computer, so I could do it on that. Got ChatGPT. I do the $20 a month subscription, so I don't hit limitations daily. And it harvested the dreams. I said, hey, do you have enough dreams to write this story? And it's like, yes, of course, Nicholas. And it, so yes, absolutely. It's so good until you find out that it hallucinates, and you're like, okay, wait a minute, you messed it up. So as a friend of mine said, he says, AI is like a genius that's also like a 5-year-old. So you just have to sometimes help it with some of its funny quirks. Anyhow, so I said, we talked about this story arc and the different namings of the parts and reflection questions. Because each day when I analyze my own dream, I'll say, give me a curious manifestation question. Like in one of my other posts, I talk about curious manifestation questions. Like instead of saying, I am a famous author, I'll say like, how cool is it that I wrote a book and it's opening doors for me? You ask it like a form of a question. So I have questions like that throughout the book, and it would help generate those. So I ran into a few headaches here and there when I was trying to do certain things, particularly with generating the images. So if you go to, I have the book, it's on the platforms, it's almost on Amazon right now, but it's like Barnes & Noble. Later on, I'll tell you, I went to, I'll tell you right now. I went to Draft to Digital, so Draft and the number 2, draft2digital.com, and you can put your your doc file, like Word doc file out there. That was what I compiled my book in through AI. And then I put it on Google Drive, and then I downloaded it and I put it out there to draft to digital. Again, there's a couple boring hiccups along the way that you'll just figure out, like go to draft to digital, you might need to get yourself set up and it takes a day to get you approved, etc. Boring stuff, but then it's pretty easy. Upload that thing and you got a book out there. I used AI to make the cover graphic, which looked kind of cool. And then I used it to make images for each of the 27 dreamings. That was the part that was a little bit more headachy, because AI is pretty quick, but it's still, and this sounds impatient to say, but it still takes about a minute or so to generate one of these images. And when you have to keep iterating with it over and over again, sometimes I might be spending half an hour or an hour just trying to work on an image. But anyhow, I got through that and learned a lot of lessons. But I was able to upload a book, and now it is going out through the draft to digital, puts it on over 10 different platforms. And for me, the driving factor is not the money. I'm not really looking to make money off it, but ChatGPT did tell me that if I just put it out there solely for free, it asked me this question. It said, Nicholas, would you like to put what would you like if, how would you feel if you had 1,000 downloads and nobody read it because they just go, oh, it's for free, just download it, sure. Or if you had just 100 people that paid a nominal price, but they had to make that decision, like, do I find value? Do I want to spend, I put it for $3.69, like a Tesla number, 369 vibration. I thought that'd be kind of cool. So if they just make that decision that they're going to pay that much to get it, then it's worth it to them. So you find 100 people, you kind of harvest 100 people that would like to stay involved with you. They're going to get some value out of it. And then I have, ChatGPT helped me to set up this coffee site, ko-fi.com. And it's kind of like, hey, will you buy me a coffee? Hey, will you give me a tip? It's kind of like, I offer the book, for instance, Families and Friend. I'll just send them the link and I'll say, by the way, I want to point out, there's a free copy you can download right out there. And so they can do that. And, but they can also donate on that as well. So I put that right in the book. That was another step, is I put a QR code right in the book, how you can donate if you want to, because, hey, I'm not above, if someone wants to support or, give back to me, that'd be great, because I'm moving into a different kind of economic situation. So that could be a stream of income for me. But really, I love the fact of just the creation process. So the next thing I did, I told you I have volume 1 out there, The Pearl Dreaming Us, volume 1, Threshold of Becoming, and then there'll be volume 2 and 3. I asked ChatGPT, I said, hey, go through my dreams. Can you tell me what other books I could write? Because I like this creation process. I want to make more of them. And I had suggestions like learning how to fly. That's the one I want to do next. In my dreams, I sometimes will have certain levels of lucidity and I'll learn how to fly. Like one, I was kind of going up, and you know how when you keep flapping your wings and you can't get any higher and you start going down, but then I was like, oh, don't flap any harder, just go down. And then as soon as I did, I got an up current. So I was like, oh, that's how you learn how to fly. You just surrender. You've heard that lesson before. Surrender sometimes when you're just hitting your head against the wall, and sometimes you get taken up to another level. So there are lessons that I learned in the dream world that are probably metaphorical and applicable to real life. So I'll have to go through that process with AI and learn myself about what my dreams are telling me on more of a meta level. I do it day by day, but what are my dreams telling me, on a whole over level or meta level? So there's that. So it gave me different ones, like ones on the galactic or superpowers. There's a lot of times where I'm teaching people how to use superpowers in my dreams, how to use telepathy. And I remember one day I had one, I realized I had lucidity, and I was like, oh, I know how to use telekinesis now, but when I wake up, it won't work in the real world, the waking world, because that world's real too. So, but it won't work. But this is how I could try and practice it. So I sometimes would try to practice that in the waking world, just to see if I could do it. Anyhow, fun books to make. So I want to tell you about, kind of convey some of my excitement for what I was able to make. Also, if you're looking to make your own book, go into ChatGPT and tell it your story. There's somebody that I'm going to go see in the place I'm moving to. She has a compelling story about how she escaped from a cult in the early 80s. And I told her, and she's, she's in her 70s now, and writing a book for most of her life has been one of those hurdles. Like, who does that? How do people write a book? But I was like, we can get together. We can make this book together. And I'm confident that I could just take her through the process and she could have that book. And she's really excited about that. So you could too. So anyhow, get something together. Maybe even talk with ChatGPT about your life. If you might be at the stage like, well, I don't have a book. I'm not that exciting a person. I don't have anything that I do. I don't dream journal but there's probably something. So first you just have to maybe have an innate, maybe you don't even care about writing a book and there's something else. So, but if it's a book and then you're like, I don't think I really have anything I could talk about, then maybe pick, ask ChatGPT to talk about it. Maybe you'll find something you're good at that you'd like to do. And then 3, you could just get that material, just ask it to generate some chapters and introductions after you give it a little bit of content, and you'll be amazed how quickly I think it'll intuitively the snowball will start rolling down the hill. Then as far as places, Draft to Digital, you could put it on there. You could do the coffee site if you wanted to do like I did, or just straight sell it on those platforms through Draft to Digital. And I don't know, that's where I'm at right now. I've sent it some family and friends and maybe posted on Facebook. And I guess the other thing, that's for a digital ebook. That Draft to Digital also has a way where I sent it out just yesterday of saying, if someone does want to print it, then sell it for, I think I did sell it for $11.11, which once they print it and do all the stuff and take their cut, I might get back like $2, but for me, that's just another way that somebody could get the book in their hands if they wanted it printed. And then they have audiobooks. And my buddy Gil over at the Pearl, place I'm going to, he was able to narrate his whole book and do it through even just AI his voice. So 11 Labs, he told me, and I'd heard about that a couple years ago. So I might go to 11 Labs, get an AI version of my voice, have it narrate the book, and then upload it to the audio section. I think Draft to Digital works with another party that does that particularly. So, but you can upload it somehow, get to there through there. So just keep following the white rabbit and you keep going down the hole a little bit further and adding new things. So I wanted to send that to you. Also, when I was on Facebook, I had never really done reels or stories, things like that. Create a story. I'd just done a post. So I created a story, and I added, I was in a play in high school, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So I sang the song called Any Dream Will Do. Did the whole part. Get a little water here, hold on. Because I'm gonna sing it to you. So I was that part, I was Joseph, and it's like the words to the song, it just plays the beginning in the Facebook post. But I'm gonna sing a part of it for you because it's like the words really resonated with some of the things in my dreams and in my life. All right, let me get ready. Trying to think of the first words. Dun, 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 dun. I closed my eyes, drew back the curtain to see for certain what I thought I knew. And in the east, let's see, the world and I, someone was weeping, but the world was sleeping. Any dream will do. I wore my coat with golden lining, bright colors shining, wonderful and new. And in the east, let's see, the world was waking, or something. No, let's see, the world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do. All right, here's the big ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. A crash of drums, a flash of light. My golden coat flew out of sight. The colors faded into darkness. I was left alone. may I return to the beginning. The light is dimming, and the dream is too. The world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do. All right, well, I'm going to end it there. Excited to be in this creative process. Hope to do some more books. You could make a book too. And I hope you enjoyed the song. Have a great day. Bye-bye.